through targeting. But more than that, you can start changing your tone of your copy and your imagery, the channels you would use to go to market for them, their likely motivations for attendance, and tapping into those motivations for attendance in what you're telling them about the show, and the likelihood or otherwise around their frequency of attendance. I mean, maybe you decide that, you know, because that segment has got a much different attitude to frequency of attendance than other segments, you'd leave them alone. But again, more than just for marketing, these kinds of detailed profiles have a lot of value for other people that you might work with. If you're getting funding, if you're seeking sponsorship alignment, sponsors love this stuff. They're able to clearly align their target customers with yours, and you're able to kind of give them something more than just assurance around it. Here's how I use Roy Morgan data to understand media behaviour by segment. So, you know, each of those columns represents a different media channel, and you can start getting detailed breakdowns around consumption, which give you practical considerations again for your marketing spend. The red line that's kind of zipping along there is the index of consumption against other audience segments or against the mean. And you can see, for instance, that in this example, investing in pay TV advertising to reach that segment is not a wise move, as they're a very light consumer of pay TV in comparison to some of the other segments that were developed. So this is an example of using variable content by audience segment in a direct mail piece for the Sydney Opera House. I mean, one key issue at the house that might be different from what you guys go through is the sheer number of events held there means you can't tell everybody about everything. So we had to start slicing and dicing so as not to over-communicate and develop barriers as a result of that over-communication. Also, you give customers too much choice, they're going to choose nothing. So we would send out letters with variable product mixes that we would align with different segments. And so the programming example featured in this letter, it's mostly world music. That consumption of world music aligned with a couple of our more contemporary segments who lived in the inner west and eastern suburbs of Sydney. But some of those postcodes differed radically from when I pulled a behavioural data list of customers who bought tickets to African programming. So, you know, then I actually had a two-pronged approach I could consider and test. In sending that out, we ended up getting just under $12 return for every dollar spent for that DM piece, whereas when I did a behavioural DM letter and sent it to people who'd actually purchased African music before, that only did 6 to 1. So that was the kind of thinking that was informing my customer list building and bundling of variable products in marketing communications. I mean, it isn't exact, I just want to say that. Obviously, if you're working somewhere where your programming is shifting all the time,